Hello, Fight Inside fans. It is, you know what? It's the post UFC 260 result video reaction. Wow, Tim, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, man. So we're here, and this is like another bonus episode that we're gonna just record quick because we thought we should before we start. It looks like we're like the new poster trailer for that show, The Stand. Have you seen that? The one where
No,
it's like half. It's like the Stephen King show. It's like the posters show like it's like half dark, like the evil, and then the half light. Because you are definitely in some sort of cave right now. Like I feel like I'm the
okay. Oh,
whooping.
I
I'm
see.
the
I see. I see. You're such a listen. Like
yeah.
when you're watching this podcast, it's all about the contrast. You've got the light versus
Definite
dark,
contrast.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it is, right? And but yeah, okay. Well, Tim, like let's tell the fans, like, what do you think, the viewers? I mean, what about this 260?
Whew. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. This is just going to be a quick podcast. So let's talk about the top three fights. Which these three fights that we're going to talk about are the ones that won all the awards. They won
Hmm.
both the performance of the nights for the winners and then the fight of the night. So let's start with the Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida fight.
Wow.
So yeah, this was third round KO.
Yep.
It got Sugar Sean O'Malley got the performance of the night for this. Obviously,
Yep.
like what
Obviously,
the
yeah.
hell?
You know what? You know
Well,
what, Tim? This is like, okay, I'll tell you now. This is by far the best UFC I've seen in a long while. Like, this was like
mhm.
everyone slept. Everyone
Yeah,
slept, including
yeah.
me, because I came off a night shift. But it was like
Mm,
I'm saying is just my gosh, it was everyone slept. Like that
yeah.
Sean O'Malley fight. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Well, let me ask you, Tim. So, what do you think about the fight?
Well, okay. So Sean O'Malley's coming off his first loss to Chito Vera.
Yep.
Uh, he was on the social media. I didn't like what he was saying about like I'm mentally undefeated and all this. Like he was, I don't know whether he was trolling us or whatever, but he really seemed to be going like as if he doesn't count that. He was saying like, oh, that was a freak injury, so that fight doesn't count.
Yeah.
I was worried that his mental game was going to be off on that.
Mm.
But he came out really strong. I don't know if it's me. He did look a little bit wobbly on the legs. Like it did look like he was very guarded. He was fighting in southpaw stance almost to keep that left leg away. I keep looking over here because I've got notes over here. Sorry.
Mm.
Thomas Almeida was not a good fight, I thought. I feel like UFC fed him Thomas Almeida. Thomas Almeida, this is his fourth loss in a row. He's coming off 3 losses, hasn't been looking like the Thomas Almeida of old. That kid was on a massive win streak and like the next big thing. And then he started losing. This is me. I didn't like Thomas Almeida's haircut. He didn't look like he was in crazy shape. His haircut was weird. Like he looked like a Lego minifig, like the Lego when they have those weird heads of
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, yeah,
He just,
yeah.
he just didn't look mentally into it. And if I was a betting man, I would bet the house on Sugar Sean. Just based on the way that Almeida looked, it looked like he was a lamb to the slaughter on this one.
Well, guys, so UFC, Fight Inside viewers and listeners. Yeah, we not only just we judge them by their their fighting skills, but also the way their hygiene looks like and
Yeah, they're grooming.
their grooming, and we also could put that into consideration when we're making our fight pick. So thanks a lot, Tim, for throwing that in there. But
I'm
you know
telling you that matters, man. If you don't look the part, I mean, like we talked to Mark Bowden about nonverbal
what?
cues and communication. I mean, when you go in there and you just look sloppy, like you just don't look like a killer. I don't know,
Well,
man. It
listen,
just
I
gave me
mean,
a bad.
coming off a pandemic, so maybe there wasn't any good barbers out. Maybe he went to
Yeah,
like First Choice or something and just got a quick one and blam, there you go. That's what I got.
there goes all our first choice haircutter fans. But yeah,
Okay, also sorry about that. Was First Choice? You guys have some amazing, barbers out there that
link in the bottom. Link in the bottom.
yeah, link in the bottom. But yeah, I mean, I got a cut one time over there. And man, it was just not popping. But you know what? So what I think, honestly, man,
Yeah.
I was surprised because I wasn't betting on Sean O'Malley winning this fight. I was
What?
actually talking to I was talking to Eric. I was talking to Eric and for P4P. Shout out for P4P. my boy Eric we're talking about the fight, and I was saying like, you know what, O'Malley hasn't been the same since he's lost that last fight, and I don't think he's got it in him anymore. And then when
Yeah.
we watched the fight, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And the thing is that Sean is like, when he clipped him the first time he got him, he stopped and he stayed back. Look, this it's done. And then and the ref just said, no, 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 I haven't stopped it yet. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh crap! And then he went at him again. And the second time, it was just like he just went full throttle. And but yeah, that's exactly what we were. That's the original O'Malley. That was his old stats, old form. That's how he used to fight fighters back, and even when he was at tough. You know, he showed his prowess, and also like that he was throwing kicks, he was loose in there, his punches were like he
Mm.
was landing all these punches. It was amazing. I was just like, wow, he's back, and even the
Tom,
confidence is back.
Thomas
Mhm.
Almeida offered nothing for
Yeah.
Sean to be scared of. He wasn't doing anything. Sean was able, I mean, Joe Rogan's talking about Sean O'Malley was able to stand at distance and totally throw any kind of offense that he wanted. He
Mhm.
felt no, like, he was not respecting the power of Almeida. He wasn't respecting takedowns. He wasn't respecting anything. He was just doing whatever the hell he wanted. It was a showcase for Sean O'Malley. Congratulations to him. Performance of the night. Brutal knockout, like disgusting knockout. Like,
Yeah, and then
oof.
when he threw the spinning back kick too, I was like, "Ooh,
Mm,
okay, now watch out!"
yeah,
Now, I was
yeah,
worried. I was worried he was gonna land that, and then have an injury right after. I was like, "Oh my gosh, please,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
stay,
yeah.
like, you know what, stay. You know what, throw the punches. That's all you need to do. Just get through the round, right?" But yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to O'Malley for winning that dub.
there was one. Okay, we'll move on to the next fight. But there was one instance where Sugar Sean was on the floor
Mhm,
and he was like kind of throwing up leg kicks, and like
mhm,
throwing up kicks and whatever.
mhm.
And I really thought, without a doubt, that Almeida was going to grab the left leg or the leg that his previously injured leg
Yeah.
and go down for a heel hook. Like,
Ooh.
he was losing anyways,
Oh my.
right? And I forget the reason why Sean was down on the ground, but he was throwing those up kicks, and I thought, man, Almeida, grab the leg, whichever one is the injured leg. I think it was the left. Grab that leg and just fall backwards and fall into like a leg lock, right? And see what would happen. I mean, you don't know that Sean wouldn't freak out or whatever because you'd be specifically targeting that injured area.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, but anyways, great fight. Sugar Sean, I mean, geez Louise, his stock rises like crazy again.
yeah,
He's only going to go up, but he's got to fight a better opponent than someone on a 3-fight losing streak
yeah.
with
And
with a minifig haircut.
Tim, what was the name of that movie? Where the coach was going, grab the leg, grab the leg. I feel like you got that from a movie. It was a
Sweep the
movie.
leg?
Ah, that's someone. Sorry, my bad. Sweep the leg. I'm
How
sorry.
dare you?
The,
Karate Kid, man.
Karate Kid. Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I
All
knew that.
right.
I was
Yeah. Okay.
close.
Well, yeah, now you do. Next fight was the fight of the night.
Mhm.
Uh, this one I did not get right. So on our betting though, I was 3 for 5. So I felt really good about this night.
And you're getting
But
better
this
at
one,
it too, Tim. Like you're getting it. Like I was like,
yeah.
wow. Like Tim was like, okay, watch out now.
But this one I had picked Luke and I changed it at the last minute because I was like, there's no way freaking Woodley is gonna drop 4 straight.
Mm,
And he does, and he drops his 4th straight. So this is Tyron Woodley, of course, former middleweight champion,
yeah.
killer. Although it's never a good sign when the highlight reels that they show before you come out are ones where you're always wearing logo sponsored shorts, because that means your wins were like a long time
Way
ago, man.
back, way back. And you've got the Venom too.
Yeah.
Venom, Monster, all that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Condom Depot, right?
That's
Like all those sponsors. Um, but anyway, so he gets submitted. He was submitted in the first round. No,
yeah,
yeah, submitted in the first round, right?
yeah, yeah. You got submitted.
Um, so yeah, I mean, at least fight of the night, but not good for Woodley. I would say hello Bellator.
Oh, I know. It's hard to see him lose because he's so talented. And the only thing is that it one fight in the night because you got a bit of everything. You got the stand up, and then you went straight to submission. And man, the way he just popped out of that submission, it looked like he just
Mhm.
he, it was like, toaster, it's done. You
Yeah.
toast, it's done, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Woodley took an L, and yeah,
Another L. Yeah.
another, and yeah, and I think, yeah, I honestly think that I think that might be it for him. I think it's time
Yeah.
to kind of move on, but it was very
Not
exciting. That fight
yeah,
was very
not with the money they pay him, right? I always okay. So let's promote our Instagram and YouTube, Prince.
exciting. You got
They
it. You got it.
they go to where, Prince?
So you go to Fight Insight Podcast. You can also go at Fight Insight Podcast at on YouTube, and also if you want to contact us, you can also contact us at fightinsightpod@gmail.com.
Thank you, Prince. And
Well, actually,
please,
Tim,
oh
sorry, I
yeah,
forgot. You can also follow us at TikTok,
ooh,
Fight Insight Podcast as
nice.
well. There you go.
And Prince is going to be running that solo. It's going to be pure Prince action on there. So yeah, no, please do take the time out, pause this when you're listening to it or watching it, go to our YouTube, please subscribe to us there. We do want to see the subscriptions there increase, and then follow us on Instagram, Spotify, all that. But please do, and please tell your friends. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, take their phone when they're not looking, subscribe to it on that one as well. That would really help us out. So please do that. Woodley made 265K for that fight.
Wow.
That's what I saw. He made more than Luque, even with Luque's win money. I think he made 100K more than Sean O'Malley.
Mhm.
So I feel like Woodley's contract, that's just too much money, man. I feel like he's a goner. You can't afford to be paying a guy 265K, former champion or not, wonderful guy or not.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I like, it's just too much money for this guy. And unfortunately, with another loss, fourth loss, and a loss to Luque,
Mhm.
I don't know what's next for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, UFC. I mean, they're really good at cutting fighters, and
Yeah,
especially just
you
look at the
have to.
roster. Yeah, and that's the thing. They look
Yeah,
at the roster and like, yep, you know what? Everything is gone. You've got a losing streak. It's just you're in the chopping block, right? And so,
yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, well, there might be one of the last fights we'll see him in the UFC. Hopefully, he does bounce back off of it, picks up another fight. But I mean, I think, yeah, his days are numbered too.
yeah. I think so. I think that's the last we see of Woodley in the UFC. Um, all right, and congrats to Luque, of course, and good things for him. He gets to move up, and he's had a lot of amazing fights. So he's sky's the limit for that guy. Main event time, Prince.
Yes.
Main event: Ngannou versus Stipe. I was surprised when I'm going on our Instagram and looking at all the other people doing their picks,
Yeah.
how many people were picking Stipe, man. I was
Oh,
surprised at
really?
that. Yeah, tons were picking Stipe. I picked Ngannou. I thought for sure this guy was going to get the job
Yeah.
done. And boy, oh boy, does he get it done. Brings the championship home to Cameroon with a second round KO. He is now the baddest man on the planet. This guy looks the part of baddest man on the planet. Monster. What did you think?
Honestly, like, I am so glad he won. I'm glad that
Yeah.
took it. He is, man, like, that's exactly what that's what exactly what I was hoping was going to happen in the first fight when
Mm-hmm.
they first fought, and there was just something off. I was like, man, like, this wasn't what I was expecting. First round, that's what I was hoping it was going to be, like a slug match, and Francis is just going to drop him. But you know what? I'm glad he took it. I'm glad that even watching UFC Embedded, just watching the videos just before that, the amount of preparation and the amount of work that he put in just to prepare for this fight. And yeah, he deserves it. And also, I mean, if you don't know his story and his come up from all the way from Cameroon going to Europe and then coming over to help fight in the UFC, it was like a decade of just hard work and dedication. Look at him, man, and
He
look at
lives by the Prince motto.
yeah, that's what hard work, dedication, baby boy.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
for those on Spotify, you gotta check out Prince's mannerisms and moves when he says that. Double tap on the chest, touches the lips. taps the forehead, looks
That's
up,
it.
looks
Any
up to the
NBA,
sky.
any of our fans that watch NBA, they know what I'm doing over here. It's like a combination of Steph Curry slash Carmelo Anthony Melo kind of combination of when you drop 50 plus points in the game. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, Tim. Honestly, with this championship fight, I was like, I'm so glad. Now we've got a new king,
Yeah.
and now you know what I was gonna ask you now, Tim. What do you think is gonna be the next fight? What would be the smart fight to make? Here we go.
I think the next, yeah, I don't know. Before we get to that, can I just say people are always calling Stipe the greatest heavyweight of all time? I don't agree with that, man. You look back at who he beat, like once he kind of got there, whatever. They were showing it on the slides. They're like, oh, he beat Mark Hunt.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. But, you know, it's
Yeah.
Mark Hunt.
Mm.
He beats Andrei Arlovsky. Okay.
Okay.
Andre was champion like
He's a
a
legend
million
too.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a count.
Okay.
Fabricio Verdum. Okay, that's a
Okay.
good win, but Verdum, potentially past his prime.
Okay.
Alistair Overeem, he is not Ubereem anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Junior Dos Santos, same thing. Beats
Hmm.
Francis Ngannou, yes, but that was technically when he like wrestled Ngannou down, and Ngannou was, I would say,
Hmm.
immature in the sport. Like he wasn't seasoned enough to know how to
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So he kind of took advantage at the right time.
Yeah.
And then after the loss to Cormier, he beats Cormier twice, but Cormier's the light heavyweight champion. Let's be honest.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So to say that Stipe is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, I don't agree with that. I don't know who I would say is, but I don't think that record necessarily puts you there. Yes, he has a lot of defenses, all that, but the competition, I don't know. Francis Ngannou, on the other hand, I feel like when this guy goes on a tear and the
Mhm.
way he's going to finish people, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to say that just to get people mad
Yeah.
because I know they're not going to agree with me.
Yeah. No. 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 I mean, like, so. I mean, you like, who do you think would be like
Oh, okay.
like number one heavyweight? Well, I mean, who do you think greatest of all time?
I don't know. I'd almost want to say like I'd almost want to say uh, Randy Couture.
Sure. Oh,
Only because what?
he said at the same time. I was gonna say,
Is that what you
oh,
said?
well, I was gonna do a countdown. One, two, three. Say it because I was gonna say couture, right? But
Yeah, only
yeah.
because he was a small guy. Like he was a small guy beating giants at the time, so it was
Mhm.
kind of cool to see that. Um. Anyways, okay. So, but you were gonna say what? What's next for Ngannou? I don't know. So
Yeah. I
obviously
mean,
on social media they're talking about it's going to be the John Jones mega fight.
yep.
Um, I'm not keen on that fight because I don't know. I'm not keen on it. The guy, the picograms, his attitude and behavior and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of this guy. I do not like him, and I think him jumping right in there and then potentially getting a win over Ngannou is almost not going to send the right tone. Like I'd like to see Ngannou get a couple of other fights. I'd like to see John Jones fight at heavyweight in a non-title fight first to like
Yeah.
show what he's got.
Yeah.
Stepping right up, anybody can beat anybody on any given day, right? So I would just hate to see like a lucky win by John Jones and then it makes him look like he's that much better. I feel like he should have to earn it.
Yeah.
Um, they did say that apparently that the money talks is going to be difficult to get John Jones and Ngannou to fight, and there was mention that it might be Ngannou versus Derek Lewis for the title next. I would like that.
Yeah.
I would like to see that again. I would like to see them go to war. And man, if Derek Lewis won, that would be friggin' cool too. So
Yeah.
both of those guys are super nice guys too. And that's, I always like the people who are nice guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ngannou, like you said, how he seems like such a good person outside of the cage and even inside, like he's very respectful and whatever. I really like him. Same as Derek Lewis, right? Derek Lewis is just a hilarious guy. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see the Derek Lewis fight next. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, like, I mean, I I kind of disagree with you. I actually want
You
to
want to see
see.
Jones?
I want to see. I want to see Jones and Francis go at it because I mean I think that makes sense because okay, well Jones is coming up. He's coming up. He's gained all this weight. He's you know he wants to fight in this division because you know he's cleaning up light heavyweight. There's no one else to fight over down there, so he's coming up the weight. And I think you know what this is it. Now
Yeah,
he's got competition because Francis, like he's gonna go in there and he, you know and he moves. He's so quick, he's athletic. Like
yeah,
he can, you know, he can give you different angles. And the thing is, if they go toe to toe, it's gonna be a slug. It's gonna be a slug match. That's what I'm thinking. So I honestly think if those two go at it, man, the pay per view is gonna be all through the roof, and already it's already picking up all the drama, man. Like,
yeah,
look, like all the tweets that Jones is sending out. Dana White's already answering all these questions at the press conference. Do you think it
yeah,
makes sense it's gonna be this the next fight? And he even Dana White's calling him out too. Like, listen, you just call and we can set this up. Like, let's
yeah,
go,
yeah,
right? And and Francis doesn't matter for him. He's gonna be defending his belt. He doesn't care
yeah.
who's lined up. Listen, who wants to get it can get it, right?
Well, yeah, and talking about the money, Stipe made 1.2 million for that fight, and that's that's I don't know if that was guaranteed money or if that was just what he was making, and then he would have made plus win money.
Yep.
But Ngannou with the win only made 530K. So Ngannou, I feel, is going to do a huge step up in terms of
Mm.
earnings after this fight. So good for him, man, because that means he was probably making like 260 or something,
Yep.
265, and then plus a 265 win bonus.
Mm.
So, good for him on the money thing there. What's funny is that neither you nor I said Stipe. So looks like neither of us care to watch them fight again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this and also, I was looking at the comments on our IG page, and I guess you we were talking about it before. Actually, too. We were saying how Steve Bates the type of guy that you really want to hang out with, like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and Francis, like I was watching even the videos too, and I was like, man, this guy is he just likes being by himself. And yeah, you're right. I saw the videos of him just getting his nails done, and then after just going outside for a walk, just like a quiet guy, just like hey, what's
yeah.
up? Very humble, like not too flashy, and puts in the work. So yeah, I'm glad that we have a new champion, and now this is gonna build up more drama. Like I'm telling you, they're gonna
Yeah.
ride this thing, man.
Yeah. And what Prince is talking about is, when you watch the embeddeds and you see Stipe all with all his buddies and stuff like that, he just doesn't come across, to me, he just doesn't come across as like a guy, like Prince said, that you'd really want to hang around with. He seems like a little
Yeah,
bit of like a jerk, kind of like a little bit of like a bro guy,
yeah, yeah.
I guess some people would like to hang around that, but not me. Just doesn't seem like the nicest guy. The way he's always like, I don't know, just doing jokes and what are jokes.
Mhm.
But whereas Ngannou just comes across very natural and just very like a guy who's unto himself and very just polite and respectful. So yeah. But yeah, nobody's clamoring for the Stipe trilogy fight. So it's
No,
probably going to be Jones. If that doesn't work out, then it might be Derek Lewis, and then we'll see what happens. But a lot of good potential fights now, and Ngannou is just the picture of what we would want as our champion, right? Like just his look and like how he carries himself and just like his physique and everything. The guy's just like, that is the poster boy for heavyweight champion, right?
yep.
So
And they made history too. Now they've got three African champions. So they've got Francis, and then heavyweight. We got
mhm.
Style Bender as well, and Usman.
Yeah,
All three.
yeah,
All in
pretty
one.
crazy.
That's like wow.
Yeah,
That's
pretty crazy.
amazing. Like I saw that and that man those, and no one's gonna be dethroned anytime soon. I don't think
Yeah,
so. Like
yeah, those guys are pretty dominant.
dominant. It's over. Like what are you gonna do? There you go. It's done, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
again, a very exciting UFC 260. I enjoyed it. Tim enjoyed it. Tim's really getting better at the predictions as well. So,
yeah.
yeah. Tim, anything last for our viewers to say?
No, man. Look, we've got this is a like we said, this is like a bonus podcast that we're dropping.
Yep.
We drop our podcast every Tuesday.
Hmm.
Soon we've been talking about we're going to change that to release every Friday instead.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's this week, what you may see happen is we'll have a podcast on Tuesday, which is our regular podcast, which we recorded last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we may release another one this Friday. So this Friday, you may get 3 podcasts technically from us. Do not get sick of us. It's just we've got to
No,
kind of rearrange the schedule.
no, it's not. Listen, listen. The more, the merrier. You're getting more
Hmm.
for your buck, right? And you know what? It's plus. It's fun. You guys get to see us 3 times during the week, so that's
Yeah.
great. I think it's a thing. I think it's a positive.
Everybody's dream.
That's it. To have us in front of your YouTube screen and your
Yeah.
TV, and listening on your drive to work. Why not?
Yeah, and if it is this week, like we think, where we might have 3, the podcast coming out on Tuesday's got a guest that we have sit in with us. It's a friend of ours that comes and sits with us
Mhm.
for the whole podcast, and then the one that we drop on Friday has a featured guest. So it won't just be you and I, anyways. Each one is going to have someone else in the mix, and so that's why we think that potentially this week doing the 3 might work, because you're always going to be focusing on someone else. So that's cool. But yeah, and we will get better at our podcasting, Prince. I feel like we've gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah.
But every time at the end of the podcast, I always think like, damn it, I should have said this, or I should have asked this question, or I should have said this better. But we're getting better, right? Like,
Listen,
I
it's
think
it's a
so.
it's a learning curve. People are
Yeah.
watching this as like, oh my goodness! I remember when those guys started with just poor lighting and microphones that barely work. One guy's fans going off; they can hear it. The other guy's
Yeah.
lighting is just made like, I swear the guy got the light bulb from a dollar store, and there you
Mm-hmm.
go. Like,
And now look at us. One of us is like darker than ever. So,
oh my gosh! All right.
whatever.
Well, listen. I think you know what. I think we're good to go. I think
All
we've
right.
covered UFC
Yeah, man.
260. Guys,
We'll
again,
see.
anyone who's watching, again, just to remind you guys that you guys follow us at Instagram UFC Podcast, YouTube also. So did I say UFC Podcast? Because Instagram, you can follow us in Fight Inside Podcast, YouTube Fight Inside Podcast. If you want to email us, get into our guest list, you can email us at fightinsidepod@gmail.com. And you will also be seeing us at TikTok. I've got some fun
Woo.
stuff for you guys there.
And on this Tuesday's podcast, be sure to tune in, because we do have a couple of cool reveals. One of them is something that you may want to start emailing us about when you see it on the podcast. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Prince, for taking the time, buddy. And
Thank you.
show everybody your hat, your cool hat, man. You
Okay,
didn't
listen,
show
guys.
everybody.
Anyone who's seen this, this is exclusive. This is the UFC. This is MGM Grand Las Vegas, May 2015. The Mayweather
Mm-hmm.
and the Manny Pacquiao fight, MVP, exclusive.
Whoa. And we're going to
Package.
be giving that away.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll see you later, Tim.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.